width and height, and set those to the same number.
Would it be 1.1?
Cool.
Okay.
And now if you zoom in on the little pattern, you'll see that they are squares instead of rectangles.
So I'm supposed to do this to every single face?
Yeah. The only catch is, depending on which way the face is pointed, you might have to change the axis in your planar projection options.
Isn't this face still technically facing the same way?
The back one is, yeah, but like when you do the top and the sides, they'll be pointed a different way. Cool. And then just work through each face.
And if I go through here, so wait, wouldn't this top one be Y? Wouldn't the bottom one also be Y, even though it's... Okay.
Yep.
So that means that the sides are probably X or Z.
Yep. Cool.
Alright, so let me just go here and just do that then. UV... Editor?
So how do you get the checkered on there?
Oh, you're supposed to click on the, click on that. Just give me a second here. Rectangle.
And then what do you do? Do you like line it up or something?
Let me see. I think you should get the same shape. Okay. I think you
Like I want to wear shorts, but I'm not trained face.
Wait, I was supposed to...
That's the end of my axe, okay? Where's the whale?
All three individuals are currently taking.
Oh, this is what you are.
Are you serious? I'm just not creative.
Use it Z. There you go, Dad. Where? The Z axis. Apply.
Yeah, I'm really good now. It's concave.
See what happens.
That is it.
It looks like he has a pair of eyes
No,
on the
it's
side
not.
of his face. The poor whale must be suffering.
Yeah, he's amazing, actually.
He's a mutant.
I was like, little one and all the toxicity. And it's toxicity. Yeah, all the toxic stuff is dumped into the ocean. That's what created me in jail. I was like, I started to say, yeah.
I'm sure I could. You're very creative.
Exactly.
Tracks.
Wait, don't forget to flip your red faces.
We did it first. Oh yeah, you're right.
Good. Just touching buttons for a couple minutes. God forbid you lose that progress.
God forbid. Okay, so how do you flip this again?
You gotta select it and go to modify.
I feel like it's a hotkey for that.
Confused. He being confused.
Yeah, that's right here.
V. Oh, wait, let's go. Z. Apply. Let's take that. Pull this out.
Saving this to sweet. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, you're right.
I think she'll be deeper buying food for one of them.
Because we're suffering, you're suffering.
I don't want to be friends with anybody. I can't buy food.
And you're not cute.
Wait, Adam.
Alright, so I'm gonna go back. Just kind of do this again. Just do back.
Alright, so I got my mesh.
I hate it.
Now, whereas I could UV it in this kind of off axis, I'm going to align it with world space because it's going to make my life a lot easier if I just align this with world space. And I'm going to just select a face. You know, there are some efficiencies here. You can actually project multiple things at a time. I'm going to select the front face here, and then reset my tool, and pick whichever axis kind of points away from it, right? Whichever direction that normal face, in this case it's going to be X. Go ahead and project. Gets me started. Looks blue. Cool. Little rectangles though. So in order to get this to actually be proportional, I'm going to drive into my channel box, find my projection width and height. Just type in the same value. In this case, I'm going to do 1.1. Penalize little happy squares. And I'm going to slide this off to the side for now, so it's out of the way. Now I'm just going to take, let's say, the top, UV, planar. In this case, the axis that points off of the surface is going to be that y-axis. Go ahead and project that. Drive down to my channel box, find that projection. Once again, I'm going to put that same number, right? Put 1. It's going to give me nice little squares. And because everything's the same value across both faces, they're the same size. Don't do any extra fiddling, any extra figuring. Now this time I'm going to do a little bit more efficient. I'm going to do those side faces. I'm going to select them both, flip my axis to Z, project them, go into my channel box, write that same value, that 1.1. Well, you notice I get purple. Right, so purple is because one face is pointing the right way, the other face is pointing the wrong way. Just go into shell mode, click on it, slide it off. So now I got the correct direction. Incorrect. It's going to grab that red shell, shift right click, we got flip U and flip B. Flip it on U, horizontal. And I can grab these shells now and slide them off to the side as well. And we still got to do the back and the bottom. Right, same kind of process here. The back is going to be X. Check that. 1. Flip, slide this off to the side, and grab that bottom face, Y, project, 101, 1.1. Right. Flip it. I got all that. What's up?
What does the purple face mean?
Purple means there's one red and one blue on top of each other. Cool. So whenever you're doing UV shading, there's always some transparency in it.
How did you think?
So if you've got 2 shells over top of each other, you've got dark blue. More shells equals darker and darker blue. If some of those shells are backwards, that's where you start getting purples. Right? So if you see colors are darker and darker, that means there's more and more shells. They're blue, they're all correct. Red, all incorrect. Some form of purple, a mixture of correct and incorrect.
This is.
Alright. Pause here for a second. A couple people who are still catching up. What's up?
All your faces are up. Mine aren't. Like mine have been.
It just changes the relative size in UV space, but since we're going to be scaling everything down to 0 to 1 later anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh. I thought you were right. Can I rotate?
One.
This one. That's the Z-axis. Oh, okay. Because one is really proper. So is that on Z as well? The bottom?
Pull that out.
That's on top.
Like the point of the changes.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that should be on top of that. And that's on top.
Let me just flip this ahead of time. So, wait a minute. Am I doing this correctly?
Yeah, so far so good.
So,
I see.
Alright,
Where's purple?
wait, shouldn't this be thinner in order to be seen? Or does it have to just be positioned
Did I
somewhere
get the
over
right
here?
axis? Yeah.
Why does that keep on popping up? I noticed that for you that didn't occur.
You mean the checker pattern in here?
Wait a minute.
Awesome. Yeah.
So,
I shut it off because I find it distracting.
yeah.
So I just get rid of it.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. No. So far, everything you're doing
I'll
looks
do one more.
looks good.
wait, is this... So wait, you're not gonna see the whole thing on the side, right?
You're not expected to. Don't worry about that.
Alright, then so this means I just take everything.
So in 3DF, did they tell you that the checker has to match across your different shells? Yeah? Don't remember that. You can just throw that out the window. They do not have to match across shells. Don't worry about that at all.
Yeah, we can cross that information out
You
more
might as
now.
well start in model.
And not have to worry.
UV is the thing that stressed me out the most.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about
That's
that.
what I want.
Make it look
Alright.
prettier, but once you texture it, it doesn't matter.
So let's
You're not going to see the
put
checkers ever again. They don't have to match at all. You want to match the size of them, but they don't have to line up or anything.
Y. Apply.
What is wrong?
Okay, so let's see what
This notebook with 3DF notes, and I need to throw out 5 pages now.
Are you on CA and GA?
See it.
Honestly, as you go on, like there's stuff that we teach that's basic, that once you get more advanced, there'll be things that either not necessarily get thrown out, but like don't apply as much
Wait,
because we'll be doing more advanced things later. Go on, Louis.
yeah, there's an issue. When I clicked on this
Mhm.
here, I'd hit Y, and then I got this shape. So why is that?
I did that on.
Yeah. Oh, that looks fine.
But that's not how yours looks. It's all distorted.
Why?
So it may be because of the orientation of your mesh in 3D space.
Is this
Oh.
alright?
Cool. No, it looks good.
Okay,
This
so
right here.
If you start rotating it, you know it's going to get that anti-aliasing. That's why you're going to get that stair step on it.
so go
No, it's
to
on the side.
So is X.
Cool.
Alright,
Yeah,
then.
awesome.
So
Nope. So is Z.
just move that over now.
Sorry.
No, not you, Maya.
Okay, still got it. Okay, where is that box?
No, you're right.
Okay, Y again.
The developer's ex-girlfriend.
Okay, they decided to
Because she always complicated his life.
So you're getting too deep into this right now.
1.1. 1.1.
This is the, what am I selecting?
Perfect.
Okay, why?
And I think I need to flip this. I think I do. Oh, you flipped it. Must be
You have
able
to
to.
flip a couple
No,
pieces. I'm just trying to make them all the same size. Yes, 1.5.
Okay. I believe this is. Let's see. Let's see.
I
Let's
want
see.
to do
Find
that.
out.
This is
Are you supposed to be
this
the
is
top?
zero.
Just give me a quick second.
Yeah, but they're the same size.
You're supposed to go.
It's too much.
Too much making a whole nother face.
But they're not making more faces. Okay. Alright. I'll do
You're the free spirit.
So I can't be here.
How's everyone feel about this? Pretty good? Are we done? Is this done up here? No?
Almost. They're just like,
They're not
where did you get the image for like the cereal parts? Like the blue parts? Like,
Patrick, do you mind taking a look? We can set up.
what?
Alright, so this UV layout, what do we gotta do to finish it out? 0 to 1? What was that?
So,
Awesome, yeah.
you don't.
So we got this little 0 to 1 quadrant.
There's a checker on
Right.
in the UV.
So theoretically, I can just take this stuff, scale it down, slide it into fit. You know, maybe we want to slide some of this stuff around. Excuse me. Right? You want to try to maximize your use of the 0 to 1 space, typically. because it's going to be wasted resources otherwise. But in this case, we're actually going to make these UVs a little bit more meaningful. See if we can't use them in a way that makes a little bit more sense of what we're doing. Has anybody taken a look into the project folder yet? Anything interested in there?
Wait, is he talking about the
Turn on the.
So in our project folder, we have a texture. We're going to see if we can't make our cereal box, right, our fancy cube, look like a cereal box using our UVs. So we can come back into Maya, grab my cereal box. Right, I'm going to apply a material to this. So just like that checker that you guys did in 3DF, I'm going to apply a material so I can actually put a texture on it. Hopefully make it look a little bit pretty. Do you remember how to make a new material? Put it on there? You can go in the hyper shades. And that's all well and good. I don't like going in the hyper shades. So I'm going to do it a different way. I'm just going to select my mesh, right click and hold, slide down to assign favorite material, and pick a Lambert. I really don't like that hypershade window. It's big, it gets in the way, it's slow to load.
Right click and hold, go down to assign.
Right. In my attribute editor, I'm going to slide all the way to the right.
What?
Name my material.
Where did you go?
Alright, I'm actually going to delete my history on my mesh.
So wait, what did you do?
Something really weird just happened.
What did you do?
Okay, I'm gonna go way around.
Yeah.
Hold on, I don't
Adam,
even have any colors.
You
on my...
held right click over your object?
Select the cereal box.
Yeah.
Right click and hold. Go way down towards the bottom to assign favorite material.
Assign favorite.
Two. Yeah. Lambert 1's that default.
Assign
Never
favorite
want to mess with
material.
Lambert 1.
And wait, what was the favorite material? Lambert.
What's that?
What was the favorite material that you assigned it?
Just pick a Lambert. So assign favorite material and then choose Lambert.
Assign favorite material. Choose Lambert.
What's that? Which Lambert? Did you go assign favorite or assign existing? Let me just delete my history here. So
You're supposed to delete the history?
go
Or
assign
anything?
existing. It makes it easier if you don't mind.
Wait, you're supposed to delete the history?
What's up?
You're supposed to delete the history?
You don't have to.
Oh,
It's going to make the attribute header easier to deal with. Alright, so
Okay,
if
then.
you go to assign existing, you'll see there's a bunch in here.
Oh.
So you go to assign favorite, just choose Lambert. Alright, so in this case I already made the cereal box material, but we'll go and make another one just in case somebody missed it. Assign favorite Lambert. Should pop open the attribute editor. If it doesn't, just hit Control A. So pull it up. Slide over in the tabs. And this is why I deleted history. You get fewer tabs. Name it. Right? Why do we name the material? Yeah. So if you give another artist your file and your textures didn't load incorrectly, they go, oh, texture, cereal box texture, cereal box material, put them together. Doesn't take any guesswork. All right, so got my color channel. Right, 3DF, you click that and chose checker. We're not going to do that. We're going to click it. Choose file. Right, got a texture file I want to load in. Click on that little folder.
Okay.
And load in our cereal box.
Where is it? Lecture.
Okay, so we're assigned
Lecture.
Anybody want me to run through that again? Alright, so I'm going to select my cereal box mesh. Right click and hold. Slide down to assign favorite material and choose Lambert. Attribute editor should pop open. If it doesn't, just hit Control A.
Okay.
I'm going to name it.
Okay, that's whatever.
Go next to the color attribute.
Oh, yeah.
Click on the little
Did I
checkering
do
box
this
thing.
wrong?
Choose File.
Is it my hypershade?
File.
Click on the folder,
Open.
load that texture. Right? It's in the source images, so it should find it automatically if you set your project. See it's going to be loaded in there.
Nice.
All right. We'll pause here, let everyone get their stuff set up. What's up?
Yes.
Your UV editor is open and it's still shaded.
That's fun.
So if you go to the UV editor, just hit forward. It'll go into non-shaded mode, or just close it for now. But we will be jumping back in there in a minute. What's going on?
I have an issue with the right clicking and the assigning.
We'll fire it up.
Yeah.
Pause for a minute. Search sharpener.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, so when I right click and assign favorite material in the Lambert, it doesn't work.
Hit Control A.
Really, why does yours look like that? I'm so confused.
So I forget which icon it is, but one of those should pull up your attribute editor.
No,
So you just click on them and you'll find the attribute editor up there.
So,
Right here.
Okay. And then here you're going to scroll all the way to the right.
everyone else is different.
yeah, yeah.
I'll be right there.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Select number 4.
Every
So that's the
face.
Lambert.
Oh, yeah, like I took them and I put them in
Valid.
liner and then
Okay,
they.
so I still have the checkers on. So how do I go about shutting those off without?
If you just want to shut them off, just click on the left checker.
Okay. So is that supposed to happen?
Yep, that's because you have UV shading on. If you go back in the UV editor and hit 4.
Oh, you mean just hit 4 right now?
Yep. Cool.
Okay. She needed some assistance with her faces. She's still
Yeah,
confused.
I'm lost completely. So
Okay.
I took the face and then I put planer, but
Okay.
no one's
You're
gonna
full.
look different than mine.
Okay, go ahead and grab your face, and let's just see what the fire maps do.
This one?
Whichever one you want to deal with. I mean, eventually you have to deal with all sections.
Yeah.
I have this written down somewhere.
And it kind of just gives me
Okay,
blank.
so the issue here is that the axis that it's running on isn't aligned with the face you're trying to do.
Okay.
So go ahead and grab the face
So
again.
what is this? Part 2.
And source image is there.
And go
then
up to
go
your
to
UV,
here.
and instead of just running planar, pull up top spots.
Then just select
Right here?
right.
Notice we got
So it should
project
be
from, and there's
on
X
here.
axis, Y, and Z. You just want to pick whichever axis normal from your face is pointing along.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Lecture 12 part 1. Let's close up lecture. Okay, let's pull this back in. Alright, so.
So what next? I think I'm gonna have to go to what's it called?
Oh, look.
Okay, so wouldn't I hold the right click in order to drag and drop it over?
It's already assigned to that.
Okay, so where would I then go turn it on to see it
You
properly?
just have to go in texture view.
Where's
Just hit
texture?
6.
No, where's texture? What do you mean, just hit 6? Okay, so if I go here and click
Yeah,
on
6 is
this.
texture.
So we don't need UV shading at this point, but over here, click on the little mountain picture.
Oh, I see. Someone has just adjust. Wait a minute, though. This is pretty. Oh, okay. I think I know what I'm talking about. So I could just click on the faces, right? Click on the individual
Yeah, you should
faces.
be able to just click and then move over.
Let's just focus on that.
Okay, I'm done. So we can go back to UV editor, right? Like move stuff around.
Wait. That's the top.
All right, I see some people kind of getting ahead here, so let's jump a little bit further. So nothing looks different in my viewport. What I gotta hit to make it show up? Seconds. Boom. What do you think? Done? Serial box perfect. Move on.
I'd eat it.
Yeah, right. So what I gotta fix here? What do you think?
You have to move your shelf.
Yeah. So if I go back to my UV editor,
Oh, never mind. I fixed it.
I'm gonna shut off the checker and hit forward to go back out of shaded mode and click on the little mountain picture again. So now we can see our texture. So there's a few options here. You could just select your shelf and slide them around so they line up with the part. But what I'm going to do first is actually mitigate some of my seams. So if we look at that picture, notice how it's a cardboard box that's unfolded. It's not cut into different pieces. I want my UV shells to reflect that. So go into edge mode, grab an edge, shift right click, move and sew. Grab the other edge, move and sew. You can see it's starting to stitch these pieces together. Now it's one shell instead of three. I just want to line it up so that way my shells kind of reflect what I'm getting for my texture.
Could you do that again, please?
Yeah. Back a little bit. I'm just going to go into edge mode and figure out which pieces go where, right? So I would typically figure out which face you want to be the front. And that basically goes here. Go into edge mode. I'm going to grab that edge, shift right click, move and sew. That's going to move it and stitch it together. So I got my left, I got my right, I got my front. Is there a question?
Yeah, so when I have it on shaded mode, they're all blue, but then when I like move it into the one
So click and right click. And where is it hitting in?
So your UV shell is just rotated from the
So,
state
wait, how did you do it? You have to click on an edge, correct?
Yeah, you have
And
to click on
then-
2 edges and move and sew.
Move and sew. I just want to go back to
So the goal in this case, since we have this texture that's just that that checker pattern, or the unfolded box, I just want to make sure that my UV shells look like an unfolded box.
Okay,
Now it's just a matter of getting lined up, scaling it appropriately to match that texture.
Wait, hold on.
sure.
Can you see is it under? Okay, I found it.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah, okay, so shift and this, shift and click this, then right click,
Wait,
then right click,
wait, so shift and right click.
hold on, right click and shift.
Move
Move
and
and
sew.
so edges should be more. Just make sure you have your 2 edges selected, then shift right click, then move them together.
It's not letting me select an individual edge.
You might want to ask
So,
maybe try it. Is it? What happened?
How did you get the box?
Pause here for a minute so we can get their cereal box sorted out. What's going on?
So I have everything set up the way I want it to. How do you get to the?
I'm just gonna do this in
So on your box, select an object mode. Object mode. Cool. And then hover over it, shift right click, and hold. Or not shift, my mistake. No, actually, no, I don't know where I went there. Shift right click,
Shift right.
and then we're gonna, okay, maybe, no shift, just right click. And, oh, you're gonna have to move it up higher so that way it's down here off the screen. Assign favorite, Amber. Cool. And then over here, scroll all the way to the right. Might be a good way. Cool. Select number 2. I would name the material.
Doesn't matter what we name it.
Something that makes sense. Cool. Next to color, click on the little checker thing. And then we want file. And now click on the little file. And now, so if you would have set your project, it would have jumped right into where it was at. But it's going to be in
I tried setting it and it's not quite sure why it didn't. Can I just go into the file and pull
if you close this, then just set it now. But if you can just find it wherever it's at.
Okay.
But it's going to be in that project and the source of the result.
Okay.
Cool.
You know what?
See better picture me. Alright, so go ahead and select one of your edges and just move this up. Okay, so one of the concerns is going to be that your front and back UV films are squares, but the box isn't a square, it's a round. So if they're scaled to be more appropriate, basically this one here, the side piece, is closer
So what do we do after?
no UV stretching.
Yeah.
So it's trying to guess
Just
which way to
give me a
put it,
second.
and that's
Trying
why
to
it's that
really get this close to what I need to go close to. All right, shift right.
and grab like the front there. And I'll slide it this time so you can see the. No scale. Just move the UV window off the side so you can actually see the mesh. And turn on your checker pattern. Cool. And then zoom in on it so you can see it nice and close. So notice how those little rectangles instead of squares. You zoom in real close. I mean, they're kind of small. So you just want to scale your UV shells so that way those are squares instead of rectangles.
You can just go to the attribute area and set the both the proportion x to 1.1.
Yeah, as long as you still have the projection in there, you can still grab it. Sometimes it gets weird to be able to move it. Make sure all your scaling is.
Why is that?
Why is it so
Why is
small?
2010 to crash a lot? 2018 sorry.
So if you
What
can
happened?
Look, my thing's so
go down
small.
to probably
Oh wow.
Like,
I don't want to talk to you.
and then try
I don't know how that occurred.
It might be easier to stick that base, put a new planer on it, and set that with the main, and it'll give you the correct ratio out of the box. So scan. So what I did, you can move your pivot point in UV direction. So I took the pivot point and slid it all the way down to the bottom right corner. Line that up with the box and scale it.
No, but I don't. They're not just like.
So ideally, if everything was laid out, it should be close. That being said, you can kind of force it just by taking UVs. No? Yeah, yeah, once you get those to be laid out, so that just means that they're not quite laid out. So what I would do is just take this one and slide it down there, and just make sure you scale it so that way it's about the same height as that. And if it ends up being too much filling, at the end of the day, it's not worth the extra valve.
Oh no, it has like little
close, and
flaps
then
like
see the
on
texture in
inside,
there,
kind
just
of
slide
like
up so that way
the model we did, or art one, or whatever.
Oh, so, how does this? Oh, okay. Hey, how does this look so far?
Okay, fine.
it's good to me. I haven't even gotten there yet.
What'd you say?
I haven't even gotten there yet.
This looks really good.
Which I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, I'm talking to you. Sorry.
I
So,
thought you were listening to me.
it's
Oh no,
not.
sorry.
That
Bad.
man had his own cereal. What did it even taste like? And all I hear is, I'm like,
I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
Like this thing just makes you zone out. Exactly, zone out.
Huh?
It's not showing up here.
That's a good question. Did you click on the images? Wait. Oh wait. This is within 0 to 1. Everything else, your faces are too big.
You said the question week?
Oh, I was just thinking. I wanted to get your thoughts on the box here.
Was it?
I just wanted to get your thoughts on the cereal box.
Looks good.
Yeah, her faces are too huge. She thought that this was too small, but this
Just
fits
scale
within.
all the shells down.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's what I'm trying, but it's not showing here, so I'm not seeing.
You just have to go into texture, so over here, just hit 6 on the keyboard.
Oh. Okay, thank you. It's not really feel like.
Clip Betty
Alright, so
Crocker
we got a little bit more we
components
gotta get to
save.
before we run out of time.
Ooh.
Gonna have to push it a little bit further. Now we're gonna take a look at the tin cans. All right, so this time we're gonna lean on a different projection, right?
Pretty good.
Can body isn't planar necessarily. Which UV projection do you think we use here?
Quite confused.
That's it, right? Got a cylinder. So use a cylindrical projection. Gotta turn back on my checker.
There we go.
And just fly through here and kind of see what you got. A little bit of scaling to get it to fall in line. And that one's up. Now let's go ahead to the bottom. Since we are kind of running a little bit short on time, I'm going to go a little bit more quickly. But it's going to be basically the same kind of steps. We're going to select some stuff, do a planar or a cylindrical, lay that out, scale appropriately, rinse and repeat to get all the parts done. So here I'm just going to go ahead and select the outside of the bottom, cylindrical map. Scale it till they're squares. And slide it out of the way. What's that?
Oh no, sorry. It's fine. No, but not the direction
Alright, got the top and the bottom.
Okay.
Do a planar and Y.
Wait. So I got that. Right shape. Okay, he went to UV.
All the same way. Because it's so blue.
Alright, let that one out. Scale this one to the squares. Right, it's kind of the motto here, scale everything to the squares. Alright, slide that out of the way, slide this one out of the way.
Circle.
Scale up to about the same size. Right, let the checkers be about the same size.
This is confusing.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the top.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
What's going on?
I'm just a little bit confused about the tops.
Okay.
And you also went a little. You did quite fast. We should have
You
slowed
could
down.
do it again?
Yeah. Well, I already did the bottom, so now I'm gonna do the top one.
Just the tops.
They're the same shape, but they're,
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
Did you do planar or cylindrical?
For which part?
So that's the shape you're supposed to come up
Over?
with, correct?
The lip part.
I don't think so. I'm trying to
So
find a can
anything
too.
that
Yeah,
faces
because when I
up
had
or down
cylindrical,
was a planar.
I
Anything
got
that's
that,
rounded
and it
was
was
a
very
square.
distorted.
Okay.
Cool. Alright, we are gonna do the top shape here, right? I got the
Okay.
bottom.
He's doing it again.
I'm gonna select the faces on the top and bottom, right? Let's just flip this so it's easier to see. Right, the flat surfaces that point up and down. And we can make it a little bit more efficient by doing the lip at the same time. Planar map in Y. Just come over here, grab all these shells. You can see you got one upside down, it's the bottom surface. With that. One upside up, that's the top surface. And then the lip. Scale it up a little bit so it kind of fits around that other shell. Now we have the inside of the lip and the outside, right? The part makes a band around the shape. For that, it's going to do a cylindrical map. Kind of figure out what's going on here with our shells. Oh, looks like I missed a face. Let's do that part again. Scale it to their squares. Nice happy little squares. Scale this till it's squares. Flip that one. It's all blue. And adjust our textual density so all those squares are about the same across. We got our friendly little game of Tetris. All the pieces to fit down in a 0 to 1 with no overlap. And we can do some scaling to kind of get this to fit a little bit better, but in the interest of time, I'm going to let it roll like that. Okay, so normally I'd pause here, but we got to get to the next part so that we can actually get the lecture activity sorted out. I'm going to take my mesh, delete my history, all that kind of fun stuff. Save it, so if it crashes, I don't lose everything. Alright, so now the fun part. Right, so for the cereal box, we had the texture given, right? We just brought that in, lined it all up, one and done, not that big of a deal. In this case, we're actually going to paint our own texture. We're going to need to get these UVs out, bring them to Photoshop, hopefully do something interesting with them, then bring them back again. So with my mesh selected, we go to Image, UV Snapshot. Got some options here. So I want to set up my file format, my name. In this case, I'm just going to output it into my King and V's. And I'm going to set this, I'm going to set it as a JPEG just because. And we're going to do, I'm going to do 1024, although if you want to do 2048, that's fine. All right, and apply and close. Everything seemed to go all right. Finder, get this new image. My UVs. Pretty exciting, right? Oh. All right, so in this case, just open up Photoshop real quick. And take this into Photoshop, put some color on there, and bring that back. Photoshop. So I'm going to open up that UV snapshot. All right, so the expectation here isn't going to be overly complex as far as, the texturing. I'm not expecting the world or anything. First thing I'm going to do is just double click on my background layer. That's going to unlock it, allow me to name it. Now I know it's my UVs. I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. Name this color, and drop it underneath my UVs. Right, so it's got to sit underneath. That's the trick for this next bit to work. Select your UVs. Go to normal. Screen. So we're setting the blend mode to screen. Back to color. At this point, we can just go ahead and paint. You notice I can paint under my UVs. Let's actually pick something a little bit less obnoxious. You notice as long as your blend mode is at the screen, I can still see my UVs, but I can also see the color at the same time. Right, so that's the point of doing that screen, so I can actually paint and still see my UVs. All right, so I'm just going to pick something a little bit more gray-like, although not hopefully too similar to the default Lambert. Paint something wherever the metal portion of the can is supposed to be. Right, and paint something else. For the label, what color should we do the label?
Purple.
Purple. You got a preference for purple?
It's royal.
This is a little bit deeper. Here we go. Purple. I'm gonna hit T for the text tool. Change this color to, I don't know, whatever. So for the lecture activity, the expectation is just some color and some text. Doesn't have to be fancy. It can be super plain like this. If you want to, spend some time and go crazy with it, that's fine too. I'm gonna save my PSD, all right, so don't lose it. Then I want to shut off my UV layer. You leave the UV layer on, you're gonna be able to see your UVs on your can. Shut off that UV layer. We drop a layer in the background here, so that way I don't just end up with that bland kind of whatever. Alright, shut off my UVs. File. I'm gonna save as. In this case, I'm just gonna save this as a JPEG. You can do a TIFF or Target if you'd like. It's no longer the UVs. Now we have and texture. Save that. Once you get back into Maya, it's the same thing that we did for the serial box. Right? Only this time we don't have to tweak our UVs to match, because we painted the texture to match the UVs we have. So I new, Lambert, can material, color, hit that checker, file, grab that file. All right, let's find an angle here that hopefully does it some justice. All right, there's lecture activity. So you want your can, some color with some text on it, in the serial box. You need the texture visible, right? Shaded texture. Don't need to see the wireframe. We built that. I know what they look like. Don't need to see the UVs because ideally, if they work, it should look like it works, right? The serial box should look like the serial box. It should be all warped and stretched. That's what we're going to want for that. So just go ahead and I will grab that real quick and I'll post it up so that way we all know what we're looking for. Cool. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? I know we both ran a little fast and ran a little long. Okay. What do you got?
How did you get the paint again? To paint the can?
So in Maya, you select the can. In your UV editor, you go to Image, UV Snapshot.
Okay.
Cool.
UV snapshot and
UV Snapshot.
image.
Image, UV Snapshot. That generates that picture that you can take in a Photoshop.
Okay.
Paint.
Yeah, I think I might need some assistance
That's fine.
afterwards.
Cool. All right. Anything else? Questions, comments, concerns? Curiosities? All right. Well, that's it for lecture. You've got 25 minutes before lab roll. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Going all right.
What time do we have
Because I'm a little different today.
So we If we go on break, we have to be back by 1:15.
Yep.
Not letting me move this thing.
Nah, just
Okay,
take me
Where's the email?
I'll go ahead and make that update.
Dang.
You export the snapshot as one.
I did a JPEG. For what we're doing here, JPEGs are fine. If you want the highest quality level, I would do TIFF or Target.
Okay, can you assist me because you went very fast. I missed everything.
Let me finish getting the tardies and stuff and pack up, and then I'll come over here and we can sit down and,
All right.
take a look.
Yeah, not only do I need assistance on this, but I will need assistance on my pots.
Yeah, no worries. No, I got a little bit of time to hang out, so make sure you take it.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I just because I was following.
Hey,
Hello.
so how have things been? Nice.
I've been at home alone all week.
Oh, wait, Home Alone?
Yeah, Juan's back at Winter Haven at his place with a guy homesick.
Oh, wow.
So I've been at home all alone.
Must be nice.
It was nice. He comes back at 12, so I got a few more days to myself.
Cool. I can't let him know that, though. Oh, hold on, we had fun without you. That's hilarious.
No, she was so there was a video sent out in your announcements that kind of covers that. Okay. The dial bottle in the problem geometry exam, yeah, don't worry about that. Come on. What's the last name? Cool. Senator. Yeah, I mean, if you want to. Well, so Tuesday
I
and
already
Thursday, I
forgot
will
what
be
it was.
around normal
Oh,
hours.
excuse me.
So you can just come by the practice and bring up
He was going to
either-
assist me, but
Set up that time.
okay. So this is what am I supposed to do? Because he went pretty fast.
This is a cylinder, so I would just do a cylindrical map of that.
Okay, yes, but what did I do? So, okay, so that's alright. For some strange reason, though, it's not that way with the sides. Let me just kind of show you. So here,
The tops and the bottoms.
yeah. So let me just. This is not permitting me to. Okay, so when I went here and clicked on the side, oh, it selects everything. Okay. So would the sides be with the no? When you double click, you highlight the whole thing. So
If you want the entire ring, click on one face and then double click on the one right next to it, and it'll select the whole ring of faces.
wait a minute. Click and it just highlight the whole thing.
Here.
Oh, you don't have to turn that on.
So what I'll do, while holding the shift key, click one.
Wait, did you tell me to hold shift?
Yeah, holding shift allows you to select more than one face. So if I hold shift and double click on the next one,
Okay.
it
And that would
selects
be,
all of the faces around, but none of the other faces.
Okay.
And you can do that with any ring.
Okay. So
This is
would
is
it-
not
would-
a ring.
Yeah. Would it make sense to also highlight the interior at
You
the same
could
time?
do that.
Separate.
It'll create two different shells because they're not connected.
Oh,
But if you do, you could do a cylindrical map
I think I'll just focus
of
on.
this. I'll just shift and greater than, and it selects all of that. And you could even tack on that part. But if you do a cylindrical map of this,
Oh,
this part will also be included.
okay.
But then you can kind of straighten this out if you
So,
want to. That's just one way you can do it.
Well,
It'll just kind of minimize the seams.
wait. So. If I.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I UV cylindrical.
Cylindrical.
Well, I mean,
So I have.
Yeah, you'll have to resize it to make sure that they're all squares. But once you've got that, that's all there is to it.
Let's see. Wait. What did you? Wait. How do I go about fixing this?
You want to make those squares, right? In here.
Yes. How do I go about fixing it? Instead of telling me, it's okay if you. Okay. This is not working the way I want it to.
Scale it with the green thing down.
I guess that's. So if they're not the same, that's not the same. If they're not the same,
Texel density?
yeah, the checkers aren't the same size. Is that wrong?
It doesn't matter too much for this. In fact, this whole thing, the top and the bottom, you can just use a flat color for that. It doesn't really matter because it's all going to get the same color.
They're not appearing on the same. How do I get them all to? How do I get all of them? How do I make all of them visible? Here, here. How do I make it visible? All of them.
Over the whole object,
Yeah, the whole object. Yeah.
you just select the whole object.
What the?
You shift select, just marquee select the whole thing. And that works too.
Okay.
That way you can edit the whole thing.
Let's.
We usually double check.
Got it?
Sure which ones
Yeah.
Speaking of that, oh, since we got I didn't check
Click on that. Nice. Let's hit UV cylindrical.
How big was this snapshot? No, like what was the actual file size? Was it 2048 by 2048? Was it 4K?
So I got it, I've done all of it, and then I've got to the UV snapshot, so what do I do from here?
So before the UV snapshot, you want to make sure all your UVs are in that 0 to 1 space.
Oh, all in
Yeah,
here?
everything needs to fit down into a single 0 to 1 space with no overlapping.
Okay.
Cool. Then, since you got me here, just like up your UV snapshot options. You're going to want to set up your file name. So you just hit browse, find wherever you want it to go, type in the file name. And then instead of my IFF, do JPEG. Yeah. Other than that, the settings are fine. Hit apply and close.
Okay.
That'll generate that file, and then you open that file in Photoshop.
Okay, and then I could just color it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So for the requirement, you want some text on the texture. Well, this is the So you're gonna want all the UVs sequence. Take them all, select everything, skip the sequence. Cool. But yeah, we can go ahead and go through the process that way. You can. So it's the same process that we did for the teacher.
Actually, we could just
I don't know
try
where that came from.
taking
The
this
zero
method
box, whatever will work. So just grab all of your meshes.
So if you
UV.
go to
In this case, you only want it on those two. Like, so now with all this. Yeah, so now let's go back to the viewport. Hover over it, right click this. Down to assign favorite material. Amber. Cool. And then scroll all the way to the right. Click on that amber. File. File. And then wherever you put it, I would put it in that source images folder, so that way it knows where it's limited.
I'm not sure why they created
Yeah, and then hit open. There you go.
And
And then just as another efficiency, select all the meshes on
my
my
crashes.
get all that.
Usually it figures where you want something.
That's gonna every picture is a draw call, and so you want to try to limit draw calls as slow as possible across it.
I count how many times mine is crashed on me. And
So,
usually because I was
the reason why we do one image per
it couldn't
mesh
handle
is to limit the amount of times that your GPU has to run your And if you're doing something really like crazy high res and like awesome, like you might want that, but in this case it's just a can of colors. So you don't want to make it efficient. Yeah, so I want to take off. Well, what I would do is maybe just name it, same effort. So not this one. Name it like
I'm gonna delete all
and then just all the meshes on
back speed parts.
top.
There's two meshes.
It's over right click. And go down to assigning existing. Cool. And then just when you like get the new picture, you just go back down to serial, click on that folder again, and just find it. Yeah, they're gonna start with that later.
Select all the shells and see if that makes a difference.
How's it going, Lloyd?
So are we supposed to focus on the bottom as well?
I mean, so you're gonna want the bottom done for the image, unless you
Okay.
let me see it. I'm not gonna know.
That's where it's gonna be saved.
Alright, so let's go to UV planar. Let's just get that on down. There's two right there. Okay. This has already been taken care of.
Cool.
I just now can focus on this. Okay. Let's go to focus on that. First, let me just rest that down since it's not been completed. So the last thing I need to focus on is the is this. How long are you gonna stay here? Because I'm gonna need assistance in Photoshop.
Probably gonna hang out another 20, 25 minutes. And make sure you take those red shells and flip them to be blue.
They need to be flipped.
On the top. So you've got some red shells in there, just flip them to be blue.
Wait, why is it? Alright, so tools, modify, flip it, modify, flip it.
Nice.
Okay,
That one should.
this is,
So we're from here. We just like fill it in or something.
So what I would recommend is to make a new layer. So it looks like your layer is way down here, and tiny trick clicking on it, maybe it'll make it bigger. So on that background layer, notice how it's locked. So double click on it to unlock it on just the name background. Awesome. yeah, if you double click on that side, it's going to pull up the blend option.
Okay.
Cool. And I would name it. So
Okay,
double click on layer
so-
0. I would just type in like UVs or something, just so you know what it is. And then you want the blend mode instead of normal.
UV.
You want it to be screen.
Symmetrical.
Screen.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then make a new layer. You can do it just to the right.
This one.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Layer 1. Take layer 1, put it below the UV layer. Awesome. And now paint on layer 1.
Okay.
And now you just do whatever
any
colors,
colors?
and you just need some color.
It doesn't matter. Do we have to be like really precise?
It's the precision is going to be dictated on the spacing between your shells.
Okay.
So like in this case, it's basically like if you do it
Like
like
if I get it out here, it's not going to affect it.
no, the only thing that's going to show up on your mesh at all is going to be what's under the UVs. So like all of this here, all of that black area in the middle and everything, that's effectively wasted space because Maya is still going to
Okay,
load that into
so-
memory, but it's not going to show anywhere.
Okay, so I just have to fill everything inside.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. And then before you save it, make sure you shut off the UV.
Okay. I'm trying to think of.
I'm gonna hang out a little bit longer.
Alright, so next time, reply to all, I guess.
With the email, mine on that?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I didn't split up.
I don't think so. I was gonna reply back and just be like, Mandy to speak to
I did tell them. Well, I was like,
Yeah.
obviously I'm not gonna delete it.
Yeah. Okay.
I just talked to the advisor, and I said, even if you can't use it back, I could play something.
Yeah. I don't see why that wouldn't, like, if something like that happens, they're pretty cheap. Obviously, you're not gonna get attendance.
Yeah. No, I told her that. I responded on the.
Okay. And then the house. See that? So I guess they're not doing the feedback anymore?
I don't know, I mean, this is the first time we did that.
That's your thought?
Yeah.
I like that idea. Get more involved than just playing well, we can do too. Actually, we're gonna serial boxes and just like break it apart and unfold it.
Yeah.
If I would have known, I would have brought my own. This one is finished.
Well, that was the text, I just found zero buttons.
Yeah. Well, I use that in like the.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Hold it back up. Now it's 3.
Now we just need to get a pizza.
Right? Per month.
Yeah.
Per week.
Yeah, I'm hoping that has a little more of a excitement factor.
Yeah. So it looks like you accomplished.
There was a guy on the Facebook group that was, I think it was an audit, and he was like, what's the one thing that you really do? Like, well, cloud stream. And somebody was like, watch this video on YouTube. It was sort of basically modeling UV and texturing out of serial box.
Yeah. I remember that. There was some game there that's basically points all connected to one another. So they like shove, scramble around so the lines are penetrated. And the game was to basically pull it apart so no lines are one on top of each other. And this was like years ago. The student was playing Hit on One or something like that. And I'm just kind of watching it. He's like, I can't figure this out. And I'm like, you mind? He's like, no. And I go, well, I'm like, quickly go through it. And he's like, how'd you figure that out? I'm like, dude, it's UV. And he's like, oh my god, it totally is. He's like, he was playing UV. Yeah, pretty much. I always meant to write it down.
You can for any. It's very easy. You can make it a shelf. You get the high score.
Crashes mine.
Yeah.
Minus.
I'm like, yeah, this computer, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Because I told you the process.
Yeah, you did like the.
No, know. I tried it with that and it didn't come out as nicely as I wanted. Like Jared's he did it for like the curve part, and I wanted to try to get it flat. But I'm like, okay, yeah, it curves, but then like, it's just basically flat. So if I could just get it straight, like I don't really care. What for that? I don't know if it was like it or what. Basically, what you do is you just do a basic UV, just plain on whatever, doesn't matter, just to get UVs on. Then what you do is you select all the UVs and you do a unitize. So it just makes a square 0 to 1. And you grab all the edges except the cap that's in, and then basically you cut that. So you do that and you do the UVs. It sticks to them.
Wait, you're doing it in Photoshop already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you would probably talk to me or show me how you got
Yeah,
to that
so
stuff.
highlight everything?
Within here or here?
No, just with here. Just like highlight everything. Okay,
Okay.
go to image,
Image.
UV snapshot, all the way to the bottom.
UV snapshot.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And then pull that over.
Okay.
And then you're going to put whatever name where you want to save it at. I put mine on my desktop.
Call it soda can. And I'm going to put it to my desktop. Where's the desktop?
So just hit browse.
You mean here?
Browse. And click desktop.
Click desktop.
And
Soda can.
soda can.
Soda can.
Save. And then you're gonna go to instead of Maya IFF, you're gonna go to JPEG.
JPEG. Okay.
And then save. Hit apply.
Hit apply right here.
Yeah. And then close out of it.
Okay, let me just exit out.
I
Let me
would save that.
I'm gonna hit file save scene because I already have it. This
Yeah.
sucker saved to my desktop. I'm gonna hit continue. Click off file save scene. Exit out.
If you have it on your, it's right there.
Okay,
So you're
go
gonna
here.
click on it. Click open with.
Okay,
So
click on it. Open with Photoshop.
Photoshop.
Okay, go there.
And then when you open it,
Okay. Is this gonna actually show up in Photoshop? Wait, okay. So,
yeah, it will.
okay,
So double click that so it unlocks it.
then title it.
No, just cancel out of that.
Oh, is it cancel?
Yeah, you don't have to title it. Well, you can title it if you want. You can title it like UV.
UV map.
Yeah, and then you're gonna want to put it on screen instead of normal.
We're
Right there.
Screen.
So drop down all the way down the screen. Up.
Where's
Right underneath lighten. Okay, and then make a new layer. So
go to layers or
no, scroll down.
Okay. I hardly use Photoshop, so.
Oh, pull this up. You're just the window in general.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be the tab right
Let me
over.
just kind of. All right. Is this right here?
No, the other one.
Plus.
No. Back. Right there.
Is that it?
That it. Yeah. And
Okay.
then you're gonna drag that one below the UV.
All right.
And then title it, and then you can start painting.
Okay, so title it
You can title it whatever. I just layer 1.
paint. Okay, so then I just take a paintbrush, right? Just go ahead.
Yeah, and you can choose whatever colors to start painting.
Just go willy nilly. Wait, how do you enlarge the brush? I think there's a way to do so.
If you click on it.
Wait, is this the paintbrush?
No.
That's not the paintbrush. Paintbrush is right here.
Paintbrush is right there, and
Okay.
then that's how you
Oh
enlarge.
yeah. Got a little. Oh snap! Let's go to size 60. Oh.
And then what I would
Wait,
do.
how do I undo something? I'm trying to just use the eraser, right?
No, you have to go to file.
File.
Or, I'm sorry.
Edit, undo.
Edit, undo. Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the paint brush. Let's go to I guess we can give, edit. It's backward. Edit. It's backward.
Okay, everybody, please listen up for roll. I do apologize if I butcher your name. Jared is going to be out for the next couple of days. Austin? Summer?
Here.
Jonathan?
Because he won't grip
Brittany?
himself.
Justin?
So heavy.
Justin? Carlina?
Here.
Kevin? Alex? Amelia?
Here.
Lee? Dane? Lindsay?
Here.
Damien? Cameron?
Here.
Kenzie? Justin? I'm gonna butcher this one. Soraya? You were just up here. Sierra. Thank you. Yeah, I know you were just up here. Alexander? Alexander Henry?
Alexander.
Brendan?
His name is Alexander Hamilton.
Brendan? Brendan Hilt? CJ? Here. Houston? Terrell? Thank you. Cassidy? Victor? Young Jay? Young Jay? Ani? Quinn Rung? Caesar? James?
Yep.
Mater? Leslie? Reese? Julius? Aubrey? Alexis? Miranda? Fedora?
Yeah.
Louis?
Here.
Caden? Amanda? Brandon? Raphael? Moises? Thank you. Ariel? Paige? Cassandra? Sterling? Sterling Skies? Is it? Okay. I just had to come up for me. Gabrielle? Michael? Michaela? Lux? And Huron. Okay, guys, so, like I said, Jared is out for the next couple days. We're actually going to have Christian here. So if you want any checkoffs today or Saturday or next Sunday, come see me. I might see a Christian. It's okay to do it, but yeah, so for start, come to me if you got any technical questions. He can definitely answer your questions. Also, guys, because of Hall of Fame, we are going to move the submission for week 2 to be due at the same time with week 3.
Just for the milestone.
Just for the milestone. So milestone number 2 and milestone number 3 are going to be due at the same day.
Okay.
That being said, guys,
Alright, so how do I go about
it doesn't get
text?
any easier. You do
Yeah,
have
it
a week
doesn't.
without
When you
us,
say T, you mean
but you
this right
guys
here?
should be taking
I
that
mean, just T
time
on the keyboard, but yeah, you can just click that. T's the
modeling
hotkey for that.
and getting everything
And then
ready.
just click and
Because
drag a
again,
box.
we are just grading even
Where?
more
Right
harshly
here?
Just wherever you
than we
want the
did
text to
last week. So make sure you guys
Right
are
here?
not letting this snowball
Just come up
into
here, click on that little color box to set
you
whatever
know,
color you want it to
into
be.
something where you guys got to catch back up
Alright,
last
I
week.
guess I can
Because if you
find
guys
out.
have not noticed, for week 3, there is a 4th element that we are going to be doing. And we will go over that, I believe, on Tuesday. Not next, is it next Tuesday? We'll be going on Tuesday before the deadline. So, it'll basically bring all of your assets that you've done so far into the kitchen scene. We'll be going over how to import that in, what we're looking for. There is a grading aspect to that, so
Oh,
we'll
why
show
is
you
it so
exactly
small?
how to do it correctly, what
Is
we're
it
looking for. It's really easy
How do I make it center?
to do, but it is
that.
really easy for you guys to get points taken off because unlike this,
You can make it bigger too.
you know,
just typing
these
it in.
milestones where we'll look at it and we'll kind of do
Okay.
185.
Did you say I can make it
For
bigger?
that, you
If you just
either
click on
did
the
it correctly or you
and just
didn't
type
do it at all.
Type in word.
So if we want things
I guess I
grouped a
could do
specific way, we want to group that way.
That's how it's gonna
If we
look.
want layers named or created a
Just type in
specific way, we
procedure
want to
and
create it that way. So either Jared or I are going to do
where
that
would
I
I
believe,
change
on
the-
Tuesday. We're gonna go over it, so you guys should be all taking
Is this
notes.
where
You
I
guys
can
want
change
to record, you guys can.
Just the font.
Yeah, the font.
So, yeah, it's
Trying to think
really
myself
simple, but again, it's really
where-
simple to get points
I
taken
want some
away
nice
because
looking
it's
font.
either you did it right or you didn't do it right. So, make sense?
Okay.
Cool. And again, if you guys got any things you want checked off, just come on up.
Sample, I guess we can go with this. It's
So it's all the faces right here, right?
alright. So now, okay, so I just click off here or click
Click on the little check mark.
the check mark.
Awesome. Yeah, and I connect those. I'm done with it. You connect this on.
Alright, now what do I go about doing? I shut this off.
Yes, the first thing I do is have it save your.
Oh man, I need to.
Instead of doing that.
Okay. Do I want to darken this in, or is that okay?
For the lecture activity, it's fine.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Alright,
So the first thing I'll do
so
is just save your file.
okay, so file save as.
If you just do save, it'll save the PSD.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
Either one's fine.
I'll save as. Okay, soda can. Oh, hey, it's gonna save to the desktop. So I'll just hit save
Then you go to your
and just hit. Okay.
Awesome.
Planar map?
Cool. Yes. And now we can actually save a JPEG to go back to mine.
Well, if you
All right, so
Now you go
Wait.
file save as.
oh, file save as.
And in here, just make sure you set that format.
Oh, I
Whichever
want to go
format
to
you want.
JPEG.
Oh.
Right, JPEG, and then just hit save. Just hit replace.
I wouldn't replace it unless you want to.
Just hit cancel.
I would cancel it.
Oh, it says soda can JPEG already. Oh, hit cancel.
That's probably what you had.
Oh, is the other
JPEG
one?
at.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Just hit cancel on that, and then just change the name to something different.
Because I did
I'll just call it
with the top.
so
Okay.
Speed Force.
So what I did here, just for the top is here.
All right, go to save.
This side.
Awesome. You okay? Let's just set the
top
quality.
and the
All
bottom.
right, and now I can just exit out.
Now we're done.
The bottom,
And
like
just
the top.
quick Photoshop
The
on
surrounding.
that. All right, so
Back into mine.
okay, so back in here.
Yeah.
The
Isolates.
oh wait, I'm supposed to click on the lecture activity right here.
Isolate select. You select it. Okay. Look at the top.
Oh, the top or the bottom?
Yes, the top. Because if I just set the top and the bottom, it would be confusing.
Okay, that's fine.
So
So
then you
select
want to
everything.
select the faces and that and do the same thing with the planar map.
Wow.
Okay, it's not gonna work. So wait, hold on. Right.
Now we're in 22 minutes. I should be able to.
Hey, hold on. I'm trying to laugh
You're
at
just
me.
like, no, I'm laughing at this.
So if I asked you to
Yeah.
Okay, so Tuesday this week is not the due date for the milestones. Not
Correct.
milestones.
Yeah, Monday is going to still be the due date for the lecture activities, for not this, but the stuff before this. And then milestone 2 is moved until
Next week.
was that Wednesday? Yeah, whenever milestone 3 was due. I want to say it's first.
So as far as I'm concerned, let me just hit continue. All right. So I don't know why there's an error in reading my file. What the heck?
Here's some transformations, so you just select it.
Let's just hit OK. And
Just give it a second.
yeah, I'm gonna have to give this
And then make a
quite a bit. Quite a bit.
Alright.
Okay. I understand that we're supposed to make 3 new models. I did some reading and it said download the medieval interior and medieval exterior. But then I saw another file for a kitchen.
Yeah, we're doing
so,
the kitchen this month.
So we're not focusing on
Oh,
anything
okay.
medieval.
Correct, just the kitchen.
So that was that kind of like a typo.
You got
So some months we do the medieval,
Oh,
some months we do the kitchen.
okay,
So yeah, it
around,
was just
right?
that place didn't get updated to.
I see.
Right here.
So the for week 3 we're supposed to make 2 more models, or last week, and then for week 4 our final is supposed to just put everything in an assembly.
inside.
Correct.
So for week 4, you're actually at the end of week 3, going to be putting everything into the kitchen
Right
scene.
here.
For week 4, we're going to be doing
Here.
3 more models yet. Moving on to ZBrush.
Yeah.
With 3 more models in week 3 and week 4.
Confusing when you can just flip
What
it
are
over
they
and
exactly?
see it's hot.
There's let's see, there's a cookie jar, steak, pork chop, cake,
So it's food.
oven
because
mitts,
it's
mostly
attached.
food. Yeah.
Wow.
And ZBrush stuff. We're going to be doing ZBrush stuff.
How about? Because I think I'm gonna need some help, like importing things and like naming everything. Because I was reading like all the steps, and I'm just to myself, I don't know how to do any of this.
Yeah.
It'll
Well,
work.
that's understandable. They're going to
Okay.
be doing a demo on it on Can you say Tuesday?
So, okay, how do we,
Cool. Select your can. Select all the parts of your can. And then hover over it, right click and hold.
right click here or here?
Over the mesh.
Right here?
The mesh. Cool. And then go down to, so it's kind of getting cut off, so you just click a little bit higher.
Right click,
assign favorite material.
Assign favorite material,
And
Lambert.
Cool. And close the UV editor.
Right here?
And then in that attribute editor, scroll all the way to the right.
So what I would probably do, first things first, is you're gonna want to
Select number 3. I would name it.
Force. Okay, I'm gonna want to go click here, go to file. That pops up, don't know why. Go here, go to desktop. Find my Speed Force JPEG. Just hit open. Okay, that's a little weird looking. Never seen that before.
No, it just looks like it didn't generate the. Okay, so the error might be causing us a little bit of problem. That's okay. Just go ahead and select your tin can again.
You can like shift.
And
Okay, Speed Force, there it is. So I got
but
it.
it didn't. Yeah, so come over here, just click on that.
Yeah, just do it one more time. I remember I had to do this.
And then over.
Just redo it.
Speed Force.
Desktop. Go to Speed Force. Hit open.
Cool.
And wow, really good.
Easy peasy.
Nice. Speed Force in the can. Okay, let me just kind of hit that, and just kind of rotate it.
Yeah, just get it, line up whatever kind of angle you want it to be, and take a snapshot, and there you go.
Just kind of. All right. Cool. And then just get a snapshot of it.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
And you're gonna want me to look at your pots and pans?
Yes. So let me just